Oh, notice this, did you? Hello and welcome everyone. My name is Sid and today we are looking at a very unique device. One unlike anything else on the market right now. Enter the Nubia Alpha in the 18 karat gold variation. So as an initial for starters, this particular device here, it's the hybrid between a smartwatch and a smartphone. Honestly, to me, I think it teeters only on the smartwatch side, but let's get into it. The first thing that I want to talk about is the color, the design, and that sort of thing. So this device, honestly, I think is absolutely beautiful. There's a lot of people that I've seen within reviews and whatever else, that don't really seem to care for its design overall. They think it's too big, bulky, gaudy, whatever. But honestly, to me, I think this thing looks great on wrist. I don't like the black color that it also comes in, but we'll get into that later. So, what is the Nubia Alpha? Again, it's the smartwatch, smartphone hybrid. And to kind of better clarify on that, let's go ahead and scroll on over. So as you can see here, this is in the communications tab, and we have the WeChat app, which is kind of cool. Messages, which would be, those linked with the phone, call. Now, these two, when I said that was linked with the phone, that is actually, it can be done one of two ways. One is you can have this Bluetooth connected to your actual cell phone, and then through there, you can actually, much like any other smartwatch, answer text messages or answer calls, or at least, pick them up. Now, this here, you're actually able to speak into it and, have this as its own individual phone if you really wanted. How is that possible? Because this particular version actually has the eSIM port, as we can see here. So I'm not so sure if the eSIM works outside of China, because I do know that there were particular regional releases, and the 18 karat gold version, as well as the black LTE, actual eSIM version, didn't release outside of certain regions. And with that said as well, this particular device, of course, still hasn't released in the United States. I don't know that it will, because the United States doesn't ever really seem to get the really cool stuff. So that's a bummer, but I mean, I've got it, and if ultimately you are interested, then drop a comment down below, and I will let you know how you can best go about obtaining one of these bad boys. Getting back to the beautiful device itself, so as you can see here, we actually have a camera here on the side. And so this is a 5 megapixel camera, and then over here on this side, we have the light sensor. Now, it is pretty cool. The camera, it's a 5 megapixel camera, and do you or should you expect a lot from it? Absolutely not. But being able to have it in the first place means something for that very niche, for those very niche moments in time where you might not be able to have your phone and you need to take a picture. Okay, so I'm just thinking about certain travel experiences and etc. And there's all sorts of places where you're not allowed to bring your cell phones or cameras in, and you're just not allowed to take any pictures whatsoever. So imagine having a stealthy little device like this where you can sneak a peek. Huh? So getting on more to the features within here, we actually also do have the full range of our fitness applications. So they're good, but honestly, if I was to tell you guys, that this is the best fitness tracker there is, I would be lying, and that's not okay. So honestly, I actually still prefer the Fitbit Charge 2 and its ability to fitness track as, in terms of, overall my workouts, my heart rate, my steps. And how does it track heart rate and those other fun things? Through the sensor underneath here, of course. And that is actually, like I said, sensor-wise, it's pretty darn accurate. And it does come with sleep tracking as well. Now, my gripe with that overall and the fitness tracking ability, and hopefully this will be addressed in a later update, but as of right now, on the application that you have to download with it, which is free of course, but you are not able to go back, to the previous day. So you get the 1 day's, screenshot or highlight of your sleep from the night before, and then all the activity that you've done within that 1 day. And after that, well, you're on your own. I hope you saved a screenshot on there or something else, because if you cared more than just, oh, that day I did this and I slept this much, who cares what goes on in the future, or what happened before, then you're not able to do that. So key thing to note there. One of the other things that I do really want to talk about and mention is the overall bands for this. Okay, so as you can see, we have a bunch of metal links here, and it's actually easily adjustable. So you're actually able to, pinch this little thing over here to the side, and then remove the links accordingly, and then therefore, place this portion back on here, and adjust it to your actual size. Sorry, my wrist felt really naked without this. So we're going to go on from here. So again, if we're just scrolling across, again, we have all sorts of, the scrolling, menus. We have the air gestures, which honestly, I think personally are a little gimmicky. I don't know why you'd want to or need to, swipe across with your hand back and forth. You can do that with a lot of cell phones now, at least the newer flagships. And overall, it's just, to be honest, an unnecessary feature. But, to have it, I guess, is kind of cool to some people. Again, for me, not so much. Now, some of the other cool things that I really do like about this is you actually have the compass. Now, in order to set this up, you actually need to walk in like a figure 8, which I've never done yet, but there will come a time where I will eventually set the compass and be able to have that fun little feature, because, come on, how cool is that? And also, one of the other really cool things about this is you are able to change the watch face. So right now I have, as you've probably seen by now, but I've got like the analog version, which has my steps tracking, and it's in like a gold, and overall it looks pretty cool, but there are more functional, or rather there are other watch faces if you happen to have a different preference. Let me see if I can. So scrolling through, here are some of the options. And, so we have the digital version. Now, here's one thing that's pretty interesting. For the digital clocks, unfortunately, you're actually only able to have it in a 24-hour clock. And then as well, I wanted to, additionally add on to that, units of measurement. So whether it's distance or temperature, because you also have the weather application on here that will give you, the live weather for where you're at. But they're in Celsius. So if you're in the United States and you're looking for this, then again, you do have those hurdles, if you will. But honestly, to me, I think it serves as a nice incentive to learn the metric system, because that's what the entire world works off of, except for here. So just throwing that one out there. So in summary, guys, the Nubia Alpha, again, I love this device. I love the way it looks. Honestly, that's my favorite part of it all, is how it looks. And the gold version came in at, $800 US, I think, and it's a steep price. I understand that, but at the same time, to have a unique piece of technology on your wrist with a full wraparound display, it just looks really cool. What more do you want than that? At least, I don't know. Do I wish that there were more functions that were readily active to, kind of cooperate now? Absolutely. Do I wish that this had some time in between more testing, so that way it came to market in a full, ready to go release? Of course. But I've been in contact with Nubia's support line, and they're saying that there's going to be a release, or update coming out soon, which I hope stands true, because, there's a lot that I think needs to be improved and should be improved. So should they end up actually changing and editing and doing like a full-on software overhaul with like a mega time update, then this will be the ultimate, smartwatch. And again, would I call it a smartphone like it's kind of advertised to be? Not really. But again, you could do those things, so that's cool. Anyways, guys, that's going to surmise today's video. Thank you all for tuning in, and we will see you all again for the next video.